In this tutorial, you will learn how to cut and sew this trendy backless Bubu dress. To be able to achieve this, you'll be needing about 2.5 yards of Ankara fabric to be able to sew the shorter version, like you see on your screen. Watch to the end so you can learn everything you need to know to be able to achieve yours. So I'm going to fold my Ankara into two like this. I'll fold the length into two, then I'll now fold it downwards like this, and making it 4 pieces. We are going to be cutting the front and the back together. So I'll start by taking my shoulder measurement, which is 7.5. I'll rule it out. Then I'll now take my sleeve measurement. That is how long I want the sleeve to be. So I'm just going to take it like that and rule it out also. So for our stitch allowance for our sleeve, I use 2 inch for the stitch allowance. That is the one we are going to use to fold the sleeve. While for the neck, for my neck width, I went inwards by 4 inch. You can make yours at most 5 inch if you want it. You can make it 5 inch. While for the neck depth, for the front neckline, I went inwards by 2 inch. That is 4 by 2. For my sleeve opening, I went in from my shoulder to my bust point is 10. So I just rule in 10. Then for the stitch allowance for my sleeve, I did 1 inch. So I rule ½ inch here, but I later increased it to 1 inch. So I'm just going to rule it inwards like this. Now let's work on the back. So the opening that you want on your back is optional. You can make yours deeper, but for me, I went in from my shoulder to my half length. That is my back half length, because your back half length is different from your front half length. So my back half length is 15. So I went inwards with my back half length, which is 15 inch. So I'm just going to rule it like this. So for the width, that is how wide I want that opening at the back of my bubu gown to be. I went in by 5 inch. That is, if I should open this up, I'm going to have 10 inch wide. So you can make yours deeper, like 6 inch if you want it wider. So I'm just going to connect my front neckline like this, so I can connect this back to meet my neckline. So after connecting the neck, now we are just going to connect this sketch that we've made to meet our neckline like this. So after getting this shape, so for this sharp edge on our backless on our sketch, so we are just going to blend it in like this to have a curve like you see. So for the ease, our bubu gown is supposed to be free, so we are going to measure the fullest part of our body, which is our hip, divided by 4. So I got 9.5 for myself, so I'm going to add extra 6.5 inch for the ease and the stitch allowance. That is your hip measurement. You are going to divide it by 4, so you place it on it. Then for the ease on your bubu gown, me, I did 6.5 inch plus stitch allowance 6.5 inch. So I'm just going to measure everything I have there in total and just place it on it like this, so I'll be able to get a straight line and just connect it to the hem of our dress like you see me doing. So if you've not liked this video, please help me hit the like button and subscribe to this channel so you can see more of my video. So I'm just going to connect the armhole like this, that is the armpit area, to make it curve. So for my sleeve opening, I'm just going to connect it like this so I can remove the excesses from this armpit area. That is the down part of your sleeve. You are just going to come in by ½ inch. Just ½ inch is okay. So I'll just connect it like this, upright, like a dart, like a triangle. Work on the pocket. So this bubu gown have a cut together pocket. So from our shoulder to our front half length, which is 16, we are just going to mark it down like this. Then from that place we marked out, we are going to go down by 7 like you see me doing. That is for our pocket opening. That will serve as our pocket opening. So after getting our pocket opening, the pocket depth, that is how deep we want the pocket, we are going to go down by 10. That from that opening downwards to meet 10 inch. So we are just going to make a curve, like draw a pocket, like a hole there like this. So we are just going to draw a hole like a pocket. So this is basically how to cut a cut together pocket. So after sketching everything out like this, you first cut your front neckline. Cut your front neckline. You can see that I'm not cutting the back, that is the backless effect on our bubu gown. I'm not cutting it. I cut everything except that one. That's because the shape of our neckline for the back is different from the shape on the front. So I'm going to open it up like this, separate the front bodice from the back, align it properly, then I'll now cut the back opening. So after doing this, we are almost done with the cutting of this bubu gown. So now we are going to cut the facing. So for the facing, you are going to fold the fabric into two. Then you are going to open up your bubu gown like this. That is both sleeve touching each other. Like the sleeves, you fold it into two like this. You align the sleeve to be touching each other like this, then you align it to the fabric, the pieces that you've placed down for the interfacing. So we are going to align it, make sure it is well aligned like this. You see, I'm taking my time to align it. That's how you are going to do yours too. So you are just going to trace it out like you see me tracing out my own. When you are done trimming out the neck hole, so you are going to remove it and now cut the shapes of the size of the interfacing that you want. So I did 1 inch. Mine is 1 inch wide. So I'm going to open the neckline of my bubu gown like this, right side facing up like this. So I'm going to align my facing on top of my bubu gown, right side facing each other, while the wrong side of this interfacing will be facing me, like you can see. So right from the shoulder of our bubu gown, we are going to go down by 1.5 inch. So we attach our strap. I first did 1 inch, so I later remove it and did 1.5 inch. So we are going to pin down our strap. You remove your facing first, pin down your strap of that you are going to use to tie the neckline. Then you now place your facing on top of the strap. That means the strap is going to be in between your bubu gown and your facing. Then you now pin your facing on top of it like this. You pin it round. When you are done, you head over to the sewing machine. Sew 0.25 stitches on top like you see me demonstrating. Meanwhile, your strap is still inside, that is in between your bubu gown and your facing. So when you are done, this is what it's going to look like. You can see that the strap is stuck in between the facing and the bubu gown. So I'm just going to notch it like this. Notching it will make you to be able to turn it effortlessly without it looking bulky. So when you turn it to the wrong side, that is inside your bubu gown. So now you are just going to pull it inside your bubu gown. Then you will now fold it like you see me doing. Fold it and stitch it round. But we are not going to stitch it completely down. So our waistline, that is the opening on our waistline, that curvy part, we are going to come upward from that curvy part. Will come upward with by 3 inch. The other side to also come from that curvy part to measure 3 inch upward like this. After doing that, so we are going to turn every part and stitch every part, then we'll stop at where we get to that 3 inch, we'll stop. So this is what it looks like. So I stitch our neckline, our front neckline, I fold it over, I fold everywhere aside that down part that I left, that 3 inch that I left that part, that down part, I left it completely because we want to fix our string, that is our elastic band on it. So I'm going to take the full measurement because I want to know the length to know how long my string is going to be. Take your time to measure each round. So whatever you get, you are going to divide it into two. That will determine the length of your elastic band. So I'm going to cut my elastic band like this and insert it at that place I came up by 3 inch. I will insert it there, pin it down, head over to the same machine and run a stitch to hold it down completely permanently. So I'm also going to pull the other edge of my elastic band to meet the other side of my gown like this and just use my pin to pin it down. Go to the sewing machine and run a stitch on it so that it can stay permanently. To get that elastic effect on the back of the backless dress, right? So head over to the sewing machine and show you how you are going to drag it inside your facing. So when you get to your sewing machine, you are going to be pulling your elastic band. Make your facing like this. Pull your elastic band inside the facing and sew. Make sure that you are not sewing on top of your elastic band. You will be sewing by the side of your elastic band, but make sure your needle is not climbing your elastic band. And when you are done, this is what you are going to get. This is what it should look like. So you get this stretchy effect and these ruffles on it. So we are not done. For the inner belts, that's going to help snatch the waist, we are going to attach a strap on that curvy side. That's that curvy side at the back. We just attach a strap like you see me doing. We'll attach a strap there like that, pin it down. Then you head over to your sewing machine and just one stitch on top of it like I'm demonstrating in the video. So when you are done doing that, so you fold your sleeve also with the 2-inch stitch allowance that we left. When you are done, this is what your strap should look like. You can see it is firm. So now you align your gown like this properly. Then you head over to the sewing machine, close it down with the 1 inch. When you get to the pocket side, close it very tiny, maybe with like 0.25 downwards. When you are done stitching downwards, you are now going to fold your gown, the hem of your gown, with the stitch allowance that we left behind. Thank you so much for watching. I remain your tutor, Jua. So with Jua, don't forget to subscribe. Bye. See you in my next video.